Okay, we're back. I think we're starting to learn a few things about Miss Tiala. But, again, Walkie's not standing for that, I think. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita! I think you mean accuse. Same difference, but you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too, there in that park. Walkie, just cool down a sec. You keep your hands off my Alita, or I'll... Uh-oh. Miss Tiala. I'm sorry, it's been so long since I've laughed so hard. We about to see her true colors now? Something funny? Walkie. Wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby? The signature on the chart, the engagement. I mean, come on, it's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Alita. Oh dear. Oh, poor Walkie, though. Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway. So the family fortune is what you're really after. That's right. I wanted the money. No way! That's whack! I ain't trying to hear that! Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who, me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me. Accuse. Of what crime, might I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but... what are you talking about? Trucy? You had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? Well, you could have taken Walkie's. You'd think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say, it was me. I shot him. That's only because he's trying to protect you. Is that it? Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Certainly the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then... wouldn't she have taken the chart? That's a good point. If she didn't want that chart to be found, wouldn't she have taken it after he opened the safe? And then disposed of it somehow. You'll see. That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. He's right. What now? Miss Tiala. Yes? It is clear to this court that you're not a very good fiancé. Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime. What's this gonna get us? Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. You went back later. That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place. That was you? Oh. Oh, right, the person that was... She was the one who was trying to break into the safe. So you were the burglar. That was you too? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart. What? That's trespassing! And brazen at that! Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, huh? Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, yeah? I'm kinda thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. When I heard what happened, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited till the day after, the 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way. But why did Dr. Maractus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it. Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance. Insurance? My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him. So was he blackmailing her with it? In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole the pistol, do you? But you could have stolen it. Could have. Is this some new definition of proof? We'll ask Walkie. He'll tell us. Might I remind you, this is a cross-examination? You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he? Yeah, but what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. Yeah, I mean, we can't really argue on that part. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further? Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. Now, that's a strange thing to say. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes? So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot. Yeah, but that's not... But we proved that wasn't the case. That testimony was proven to be a lie. Right. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime. But he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed the panties. If Mr. Stickler shouted from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple. Silly, silly attorney. What? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can be only one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. Objection! But his location was proven. You can't write that off as being mistaken. Objection! What? Then why don't you show us, Herr Forehead? Show you what? Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. If the witness, Panties Guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Walkie-Kataki was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler at the witness mark. And of course, Pal Maractus was at the victim mark. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? It had to have been somewhere else. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? It's time to raise the roof. And the stakes. Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Oh, jeez. Okay, play air guitar. Oh my god. Yeah, look at the penalty now. If we fuck this up. Like so. Double penalty. Head forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. They were in the noodle cart, weren't they? That's the only thing that makes sense. If he was shot in the right temple. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Ms. Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no! Oh yeah! Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? Toward the noodle cart. Yeah. Order! Order! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Yeah. Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? Okay. Oh, I've got it. I've got it right here. Intriguing. Let's see what you got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. It was these slippers, the print of which we found right outside it. The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered in paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene, right next to the noodle stand. That must have been where they climbed out. Oh, and Miss Tiala? Your toe print was found in the left slipper. Oh, we gotcha, bitch. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at that scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle-making trade. There is no room for a person to ride in there. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in this stand? Apollo, I think I might be onto something. I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be... Well, Mr. Justice? Do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand? I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. Wait, there was... We did find this. Were there a bunch of bowls that were taken out, or just one? This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's Noodles noodle stand. Yes, and what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. Oh, that's right, I forgot about that part. I remember the slipper, or the sandals, but... A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic? Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there, too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop! I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies! No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines! I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent. Show me an innocent, I'll show you a fairy tale. In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus. More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale. Then please, pull us back down to reality, Ms. Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling the stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside of it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. This better be good. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score. I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. Perceive, huh? Does this mean... So you did go to steal that chart. Were you listening? I said I asked him for it. The victim was a man in good health. I don't see how she could have coerced him. True, it would have been impossible without a pistol. Oh? But what if she did have a pistol? I'll admit, I wanted the chart, that much is true. My reason is simple. I had no intention of ever letting the chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. It certainly would have put a damper on your wedding plans, I'd say. Not only that, if the Kitakis had gotten that chart, I'd probably be with Dr. Maractus now, pulling that great noodle stand in the sky. It seems our witness was in a fix as well. Who would want to die pulling a noodle stand? When I die, it'll be by disappearing mysteriously in the middle of a magic act. Could we be a little less morbid, please? So you see, I needed that chart. He didn't understand. He wouldn't listen to a word I was saying. The moment he saw me, he started to tremble. I thought, what a sad excuse for a man. Please don't smile like that anymore, it's creepy. He was practically delusional. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. They sent you? He thought the Kitakis had sent me to get the chart. It makes some sense. You are their son's fiancé. Don't make me laugh. The Kitakis send me? They don't play that way. If they'd known about that chart, they would have gone in there with guns blazing. But I couldn't convince the trembling doctor otherwise. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. If that was really all that happened, what were all those noodle bowls doing there? How should I know? There weren't any bowls when I went, I know that much. Why don't you let me be and go look for your killer somewhere else, alright? Do I detect uncertainty there? This is my last chance. Apollo, any word from your bracelet? Yeah, actually. I felt it respond. I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo. Alright, so I guess... Let me see. He did say she sounded unsure here. So I gave up and went home. All I did was... Wait. Okay, now is she... She fidgeting with her scarf there. All I did was talk. And lie. What? Show me proof! I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. Like twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? This is working better than I hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies, 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Why is that, I wonder? It seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone's trying to hide something. Wait a sec. Would you mind showing us what's under that scarf? You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. Oh! A red stain on the cord. What's that? You're touching your scarf again. Did he try to strangle her with the cord? There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple, Ms. Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park. Yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting. As soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my... Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I? Oh. Your neck. Your neck. That isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it. But wait, looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness. Specifically, you tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic. Huh. Oh geez. Oh geez, feathers everywhere. Order! Order! Will someone please tell me what really happened? I told you the truth already! I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything! He's coming for you! Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient. We have to get rid of that chart! Quick, open your safe! Give it to me! So you can save your own skin? What? I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company. You! And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Oh. Hal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. Huh. So you were the victim? And the red splotch in the cord was your lipstick. Oh. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand? But how could I? Wait. Okay, I thought... Well, one thing is clear. Oh, good, at least one thing is. Because the rest of this is still... I thought for sure she was the killer, though. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic. And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself. I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it, it's hard to breathe. I told you everything. Can I go home now? You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice? I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Ms. Tiala. When did this happen? Suddenly, everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? Very well, this finishes the cross-examination of this...
Objection!
Huh? Oh, what... Wait, what are... The hell are you objecting to? Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock! Oh boy. Okay, again. I thought we had this figured out, but now... I don't know. Give me a few minutes with this. Let this digest.